can you do me a favor and come back in? Just sit in.
I met them at the Los Angeles County Fair back in 2007. Observation hive just like this, and I fell head over heels in love with them. I asked that beekeeper there how I can get involved, how can I become a beekeeper, and after I talked to Zierov for a couple of hours, I went to Barnes & Noble, I bought every single book they had about bees, read it cover to cover, and then found myself a mentor and worked with him a couple of years, and then I got my first hive.
As you can plainly see, these bees are breaking the orders. They're not properly social distancing. I will be sending them a very strongly worded email.
The average beekeeper loses 40% of his or her hives based on a variety of things, from pesticide, nutrition issues, fungicide issues, varroa mites, whatever. That is the average loss per year. If the honeybees die out, then your dinner table is going to look extremely bleak. The almonds, the blueberries, the avocados, they're gone. They're gone. A lot of people think of honeybees and they think, oh yeah, honey, but they don't consider the importance of pollination. In California, in February, you have more bees in the state of California than any place else on the planet. Bees are coming from as far as Maine, Florida, all over the country. Migratory beekeeping goes back to the ancient Egyptians. It's nothing new. It's simply that the price for the almond has skyrocketed, therefore a lot more bees are needed to meet that demand.
Worst case scenario, they're all stolen. I mean, that's the worst case. But some bees will succumb to pesticides because, unfortunately, that's just the way things are.
Monoculture is getting a swath of land and growing nothing but one crop. So that's much easier to manage than, okay, I got an acre of oranges, an acre of almonds, an acre of apples, where all of these different plants need different types of nutrition and they need different types of pest abatement programs. However, it's really hard on the soil, and it's increasingly getting more difficult to sustain that type of level of production. Because 30% of our food supply is due to the bees, we're forced to feed our bees nothing but one crop for weeks at a time, which for a human would be unfathomable. And so if we were able to go back to where farms had a bunch of different crops, it would be better, I think, for sustainability, and it would be better for the bees. Now, this bee was carrying out her dead sister here that was, she wasn't yet born, but she died from probably varroatosis. This is a result of varroa mite. So she is an undertaker bee. But I'll be very anxious to get into these hives. The bees keep me up at night, thinking about what they're going to need. I am their caretaker that they'll never appreciate. They'll never understand why I open up their hives. They'll never know how much I love and adore them. But I'll continue loving them, and they'll tolerate me enough to let me take care of them.
Dead bees on the ground. Look at them, and in the hive, look. Sons of bitches. Well, I don't see our proboscis sticking out. Usually if it is indicative of pesticide, proboscis is their tongue. I don't see it sticking out, but they may be decomposed a bit. It didn't just happen. I can't exactly tell. My guess would be pesticide, but this behavior here is weird. Dying up there like that. We have these battles all the time. They tell us what we want to hear, and they say they're going to do what we need them to do, but here's evidence to the contrary, and I've got pictures of it, and I'll talk to them about it and see what we want to do going forward.
You've got the whole world against you sometimes. Southern California, you get wildfires. Back east, you get flooding. You've got these invasive pests, the hive beetle, the varroa mite. You've got pathogens. You've got nutrition concerns. You've got drought. Everything can negatively affect the honeybee.
Where are you right now?
Coming up to Sherwood Avenue.
All right. Do you need to refuel?
No.
Okay, so I'm in front of you, but I'm going to get fuel, so then I'll be behind you if you're not stopping.
Yeah, I mean, I got half a tank. We got 100 miles to go. My range is 265, so I'm fine.
Out of the last 5 state bee conventions, I think 4 of them have been in casinos. Because in the end, farming, it's just another type of gambling. And you can do everything right, but if nature isn't going to give you that favor, then you can have a lot of problems. I've seen a lot of concepts, but I haven't seen anything that has been able to be deployed on a mass scale. I haven't had any of my growers demand robotic bees or talk about them. The moment that the growers start talking about them, then maybe I'll pay closer attention. But right now, they're going to want our honeybees. So we better be nice to them. Yeah, you definitely better be nice to them, because we're going to be needing them for a long time. The good news is that we're at a 10-year high with honeybee colonies in the United States. beekeepers are figuring out how to keep their numbers up to meet the demand. But it's much more challenging to be successful and to keep the bees healthy today than it ever was before now. As I look at beekeeping, as I look at the industry being affected by this pandemic, I can say that people are beginning to appreciate where food comes from. I like to think that the honeybee will be regarded as even more important when this is all over. It's responsible for so much that people don't think about. So what I want people to do is when they see a honeybee, look at her with the respect that she deserves. And I think the Italians have it right. In Italy, they don't call their colonies colonies, they call their bee colonies families. And I think that's a better description. They demonstrate why unity is not only essential, it's a cornerstone of everything that we do. And if society only behaved more like a colony, more like a beehive, it really, really would be an amazing place. It really would be an incredible place to live.
Elke zondag de beste documentaire tips via de Tweedoc Weekly nieuwsbrief. Schrijf je in op tweedoc.nl.
Human.